Greetings. This is Wizard Quai, Robert A. Adjutant. This will be an update and a little about what's going on. I looked up my YouTube channel and it's still there with the videos on it. So I hadn't got raced off there, but so I don't know whether to be careful with what I'm saying or not, but so I checked that out again, and this will be a short video about an update of what I've been into. I have 3 jobs now. I'm working for Margaritas, a Mexican restaurant, doing dishes. I'm still working for Hannaford's as maintenance, sanitation maintenance, so that's a lot of cleaning. I'm working for Home Goods for maintenance cleaning. Margaritas is down for the week, so it makes money tight because they're cleaning, so I don't go back till the 6th of April. And because it's slow season, Home Goods is cut out 1 day a week that I work, so I got less pay coming in, so I got to be more careful. I've called up and rejoined Toastmasters Club, so I'll be going to that tomorrow night, which is Wednesday. And so I was in Toastmasters Club before. I was Sergeant of Arms, and I did give some speeches and was evaluated and stuff. And in the meanwhile, when I went out it, I was always recording videos on here. Whether people saw them or not was another thing. And I'm still going to have the community garden, but I might have to buy some transplants because I'm a little slow on the money. I didn't get around, and things are a little hard up here in the valley. It's either riches or poverty. So one way or the round, you either get the business or there's no business at all, so you don't make no money. And I'm still into my health food stuff. I eat real good one day, and then the next day I don't have the money, so I eat real bad. So I got to get out of that habit. During the summer, I'll work towards correcting that. And a lot's been going on. They're censoring people to talk about vaccines. Do your own research on that, and you'll find out that you can use other things just as well as vaccines that'll stop that flu that are even better than those vaccines. Medicinal mushrooms for one, and a whole bunch of other things. You make your own decision on that. I'm against them, and I'll stay against them. And we'll fight for my right not to be vaccinated. They're censoring a lot of information. They're cutting off so that people don't get a lot of the information, so they can't make a right choice. They can't make an informed choice because the information is being censored from one side, so they don't see 2 sides of the story. They don't see the whole picture, and so they get a wrong view of what is really going on and have a wrong view. And a lot of the people are pushing this censoring got wrong views in the first place and are pretty ignorant on the subject themselves. They just go along with what the medical industry tells them, and the medical industry is not always correct. They just make educated guesses on your health. So that's where that stands. I work a lot of hours. I'm home a lot, but I'm usually tired and rest up a lot. My feet have been bothering me a lot, so I've been soaking them for an hour in Epsom salt every day. I'm out of Epsom salt in a couple of weeks, so I've got to get some more of that. I'm still going to the American Legion meeting. The last meeting I didn't go to. Um, the adjutant of the club weren't there, and so they didn't send out the minutes. So I figured it wouldn't be much of a good meeting without having the minutes there from the week before to discuss. And a few people were out, so I decided not to go. But I'll go to the next one. It's going to be pretty interesting getting back into the speech club, and I'll have to talk in my way to my rights to talk because you never know whether they're going to censor you or what. So you never know. So having it at a college, uh, and let's see. It's nice sunny days, around 47 out there. Maybe it's a little higher now. It might have got into the 50s, but my car thermometer said it was 47. It's nice sunny out there. Still a lot of snow, so we still got a lot of snow to melt. And the birds are around. I've heard robins and haven't seen any, but I've heard a lot of singing out there early in the morning. So that's nice again to hear the birds. I always enjoy that. They're the nature's sympathy orchestra. The wonderful sound of the birds. It's really relaxing. A lot of people, are not against nature and stuff. They can't stand those noises. It just drives them crazy. So, well, you got the right to your opinion, and I got the right to my opinion, and I'm going to stick with my opinion. But I don't push it as my opinion on people as much as other people do, and I'm pretty quiet and silent about it. But that's the way it is. So it might change in the past. I might speak up a little bit more in the future. I might speak up a little bit more, but we'll see what happens. And it's April, and I should be planting seeds already, but I don't have the seeds. I got a few seeds, but I don't know where I put them from last year. I could use them if I could find them. But I put a lot of my papers away in the files, so I think I buried them in there, in the filing cabinet. And we got to fight for the rights to talk and give you a border, and it seems though if you're a conservative or whatever, they're going to ban you from the internet. I'm not really a Christian. I have my own beliefs, and I do believe in a higher force, and I do believe that there's a life force out there that is powered by that force, that higher force that is keeping everything going. And I believe there's a power more higher than we are. And I keep my eyes on a lot of things that was going on. SpaceX has had sent an aircraft, a rocket up with a robot in it on March, I think it was March 2nd. And they sent it to, and it docked all by itself. It might have had a little help with people at the space station, but it docked with the space station and returned unmanned, unhuman man. So that's, they got some pretty big technology and pretty wonderful technology out there. So I'm keeping my eye on a lot of space stuff and what's going on there. I'm very informed about the news, and I don't get my news from like CBS or NBC or them. And if I do listen to any of them, I take it with, I doubt it very much that it's what's really going on. So I get my news from a number of different sources. So they've got an agenda out there, and they're pushing their agenda. And they also want to cut down on the population. So if they can cut off about half the people that are alive now, then they'll have their goal of cutting down on the population. But just how do they want to do it? A lot of people think they want to do it in an evil way, and they're already doing it in an evil way. But you do your research on that. And then, of course, they want to force you to take away your rights. Oh, you all unique individuals, unique human beings. We've all got our own opinions, and everybody's got a different opinion, and no two of them are alike. Whether they're Republicans or Democrat, they don't think that they believe the same at all. They're all very divided in what they think. The two parties try to put it together to sound as if they're all for one thing, but then you find under one party, like a lot of if they're all for one thing and Republicans are all for standing for protecting your gun rights, then how come a lot of them are voting for the gun control laws? So you find that, and it's the other way around, on the same way around on the Democrat side. But you got a lot of ignorant people on the Democrat side. They don't see the whole true picture, and they won't even look at it. They're not getting the information, and they're getting their information only from certain sources. And those certain sources don't want them to get the information out there, so they're only feeding them. You're only as good as the information that you get. So you have to search for it and get all the sides and angles and all the dreams and find out what's really going on. It's amazing in a way how they keep it all going, but they don't keep it going very good, because then, half the people's rights are taken away. People's rights are thrown in jail for things that they shouldn't be thrown in jail, and people let go for things they should be thrown in jail. So justice is justice. And I guess you want to let all that fentanyl come over across the border, and all those human traffickers come over across the border. So that's why we want open borders, so we can have more human traffic up here in fentanyl to dope people up more and make them more doped up so much that they kill themselves on the stuff. It's even more powerful than, and if that ain't a crisis, what is it? What is? You know what I mean? Of course, that's a crisis. And so you got to stand up for your rights. You got to stand up for what you believe, and you got to know and do your research and find out what is right, and find out what truly fits into the whole picture of things, and what makes it tick. The system's rigged. The immigration laws, a lot of the immigration people that are protecting the border are Democrats, and they're just letting, and at certain different places in different countries in the southern border, they're just letting the people come in, or busing them in and whatever, because they're not all standing for border to close the border. So you got those people in there, so it's not all one thing. And you say, well, why can't we control it? You can't control it because you got different people in there. Different people believe different things, and different people are corrupt, and different people will let those people come in across the border and bring their fentanyl in, and their drug traffickers. A lot of people are making billions of dollars off the drug traffickers. So that's where that stands. You got to fight to protect your health, and there's no easy path. You got to do the best you can with what you got. And money dictates it all. If you was a millionaire, you could live 100% perfect, healthy-wise, but and eat the right things and be more healthy. But when you don't have the money, you're limited, and you can only do it for a short period of time. And then if you overspend, and you end up getting the money for junk food or buying less healthy food. So that's the way that goes. Um, there is a right path. I follow the ketone diet a lot, the ketone diet, but I follow the raw food diet a lot that I really believe in, and but I don't put it to practice a lot because I don't have the money to buy a lot of those things. Top quality food costs big money. The food with the most minerals in it, the most vitamins in it, the most content, the nutrition in it costs you more money. And don't tell me that they don't. You can buy organic food cheap, right? But what are you getting? You might not be getting the best of nutrition. They might not have spent the money in to grow those seeds and put the right stuff to get that all those nutrients and minerals and other things and right organisms into that plant, so you're not getting the health from it, and it's not got the right vitality, and its life force is not so big, not so good because it's been depleted, and it's not getting this full nutrition, so its life force is dimmed, and so when you eat it, your life force is dimmed. And so top quality food is what matters. And you do your own research on that. You'll find out that that's what it's all about. And a lot of the rich people that have the top quality, could get the top quality food, don't even buy it. So because they're not into it, they don't believe that the chemicals in the food, the pesticides and the herbicides and the other things, cause diseases. They just believe in the medical industry. So you gotta do your research. Half the senators and Congress people are so ignorant about health and so ignorant about anything that they'd pass any laws. They don't know the whole true picture. They're so ignorant, and there's no way you could change them because they're so fucking locked in that they won't do any research to find out any different. And then that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is the big money. There's big money behind supporting them and not having people know the right health things, and so that they can protect their health, and the repeat business of the hospital so they can send you there and make more money. But that's off on a tangent there. How many more people are they going to censor? I guess the collusion with Trump went down a little bit. They're mad now. Now that Bob Mueller ain't so good anymore. That Bob Mueller is not so good anymore because he come up there was no collusion with Trump and Russia. Oh boy, wow, that's a big one. Wow, we enjoy that a lot. But they're crying their heads off, and they say impeach, 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 and they'll never give up. Oh boy. And the next election's coming up. And what'll be? Will we get into more disasters? Will there be more disasters? Will they take advantage of us some more? Take more rights away? I wouldn't want to live in California, and I wouldn't live in New York and New Jersey. I don't think I'd even visit those states anymore. I took a tour of Europe around 2005 or 2006, but I wouldn't even go over there anymore. It's not safe. It's not the same. They don't have their cultures as good, and they're being ruined by all the immigrants. It was different when they had their own cultures and they had everything like that, but now it's being torn down and ruined. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, that's the way it should be. So we should import it over here and bring in millions of more people and ruin the cultures. Instead of Christmas, we'll now beat our women because we're Muslims. We'll give them 50 lashes for not good. That's harassment. And what happened to harassment over here? You're all for the Muslims, but you're against harassment. What's going on there, man? So, and yeah, and maybe we should all have our women wear the burqa and cover up their faces so we can't see them when they talk. So they can just lie to us and tell us anything because their face is covered up and you can't tell whether they're telling the truth or not. And then but if the Muslims find they're not telling the truth, that's another 500 lashes. So, oh wow. Find out about it. Let's research it. See what's going on. It's a crazy world we live in. You got to be a little crazy to live here. You got to be a little crazy. Maybe we should all get on spaceships and go to Mars. Maybe that's where we should be. But then we do the same thing on Mars. After a while, it would begin so that they declare, we want this up here on Mars. No, you can't have it. We want this on Mars. No, you can't have it. We want this on Mars. No, you can't have it. Then they start throwing you in these little prison cells up on Mars because you decided you wanted it and you had it anyway. So, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's all wonderful. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I don't think so, but so I'll keep right on fighting and listening and challenging what they say and challenge it silently or talk about it. That's the key thing. And then if you talk about it and say the wrong thing, they might even throw you in jail. So that's the way that goes. Who makes the rules, you know? And then if they don't have anything to throw you in jail on, they'll make it up and lie about you and then throw you behind the bars. And and then if you want to stay in the bars, they'll pull you out and throw you in a mental hospital and drug you up, put you on more drugs, and drug you up. And after they drug you up so that you obey them 100%, then they'll let you go. And then you're such a zombie that you're out of this world and you're into the new age of things, the new world order, doped up human beings to live their lives out in peace and harmony amongst being all doped up and freaked up and not really knowing what's going on. Oh, ain't that wonderful? Ain't that wonderful? If you want to be doped up, just go have an alcoholic drink. Forget about their fucking drugs. They're worse. They're worse. They'll ruin your mind. They'll take away your freedoms. They'll take away your rights. They'll get you to sign anything. You're so doped up, you just sign anything. Here, sign on the dotted line. What's it say? What's it say? What's it say? You now signed your life away. We are now going to take you out to the gallows and hang you. Oh, wow, ain't that super? Ain't that super? Well, I don't think so. I think that you should fight for your life a little bit and fight for your beliefs and stand up for your own uniqueness and stand out. Christians might not all be right, but one thing about that right, that if you don't have any fucking morals, what do you got? You got Shiite law, and what kind of morals is that? We can lie to get people into our religion. Wonderful. You tell them anything. Bring them in, and then once we get them in, we'll just show them what it's really like. Wow! Then they find out it's not so great. It's a crazy, crazy world. It is. You got to keep on top of it, and you got to know what's going on. And you ain't going to find that from the professor at the university who's a socialist who would lead you down one path and not tell you the rest of the story. So, censor, censor, censor. Every time you censor, you're cutting out somebody's opinion. You're cutting out some new idea, no way of looking at things, new source of information. Censor, censor, censor. There's no new source of information. You're a deadhead. You're stuck in your circle. You're a dead brain. No right to know anything and do anything and go anywhere. You're just a deadhead. Listen to it all, no matter who says. Giving them your best ear. See what they got to say. Listen to it. They might be wrong, but they got the right to their opinion. And if you don't think they have the right to say that, what gives you the right to say what you say? So, if you want your right to say what you say, let them say what they want to say. It's you got the right to talk about it and whine about it and say you don't like what they're saying and they shouldn't say that. But that's just a part of your opinions and your right to freedom, and that's what that First Amendment stands for. The right to free speech and the freedom of your and to keep your freedom to say what you want to do. And we'll see what's going on now, because there's an executive order in there saying that they got the right to state their opinions at colleges. So we'll see how many colleges close down because of it. Wonderful. We'll see whose opinion's going to suck and dictate us down the throat and give us some new government policy that they're going to control us, because they're fucking control freaks and they want to tell you what to do. They want to tell you when to go to take a shit, when to get up, when to go to sleep, when to snore, when not to snore. And they want to tell you whether you can live or ride, where you work, what exercise you do. They want to tell you everything. They want to control your whole life. Oh, they'll say their opinion. They want to make you them. You hear a lot of people talking, and they're out there, and they talk about this is the only way, and they want to convince you that you should be them. And once you be them, they'd be fucking bored to death, because there would be them all over the place, and they couldn't stand it. So, you better like your diverse world, with a lot of diversity and a lot of different opinions, and stand up for that, and fight for that. I don't agree with a lot of people, but I listen to a lot of people. I don't respect that they got that dogma, but a lot of the people got good dog things. They're good in one things and bad in the other things. And then you find the other ones that are good in this things and bad in the other things too. So I don't think you got a truly good human being on the face of this earth that's got it all correct, except for me. I got it all correct. No, I don't have it all correct. I don't know everything. I got a few things wrong. I'm still learning. But we'll just put it that way. I know it all. I'm perfect. I'm the bonus one on the face of this planet. Oh, bullshit. Brag about yourself. Who wants to hear you about your superiority and your stuff? You're not going to make any friends that way. You're just going to lose them all. If you want to think you're superior, keep it to yourself. Yeah. Fight on, target, fight. I listen to a lot of those high people, they say, well, the head of the Facebook, and he's censoring all people, but he's under the influence of a lot of other people that are telling him to do it, and so we'll see how much is censored off there and how much they can tell you can't say this, you can't say that, and pretty soon they'll give you a book. They'll write a book telling you what you can say and what you can't say, and that book will put it all clearly. You can't say this and you can't say that, and you have to learn that book like a Bible. And so the Democrat religion is a religion, but they say they're against religion. So what do you call that? Buzzed out. Wow, freaking and knowing them it all. They know it all, so they'll make a zombie out of everybody. No, they want to wipe them off the face of the earth because they can't stand people. They don't like people. So they just want to wipe them off the face of the earth and boss them around. And they think they're the best things on the planet, and everybody's under them and a little inferior and not so good, so we can boss them around. And we'll make up all the rules and tell them they can do this, they can do that. We'll write a book and say, this is what you do, learn it. If you don't learn it, then you don't know it well, you make one mistake, we'll throw you in jail because you said the wrong word or you did the wrong thing. Wow. Tyranny in its most form. Fight on, stand for your rights, stand for the unique you that you are. Be what you want to be. But you have to pay the consequences for some things, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Whether you think it's right and you do it, it's crazy. Muslims don't think that the Muslims don't think it's wrong to kill people. So is that a good thing too? I don't think we should have people that don't like each other going out killing everybody on the face of the planet. We'd have a really mess going on, and it wouldn't be safe for anybody to live anywhere. Not even them, because they'd have people fighting back against them. So, Target 2, Zoom, we're off to another planet. We're going to make it better. Once we get there, we'll do the same goddamn fucking thing as we did on Earth. So, if you don't solve it here, you ain't going to solve it anywhere. That's for sure. We'll just pollute the moon. We'll pollute Mars. We'll just take away all our living capacities so that we can't live and we can't do things and we can't have the right air, and it will pollute our air system and put disease in it. So we have to take some sort of form of pill and not take natural things and eat natural foods. And even natural foods now are so contaminated that with different things from the air and the soil and the stuff like that, that it's a big challenge to fight to stay alive and be the most healthiest thing you can be. It's a big challenge, and it's a fight on forever and ever and ever and ever, oh my Lord, forever until you drop dead. And if you drop dead, that means you lost and you didn't do well enough because you didn't take care of your health good enough, and you didn't figure out the secret to longevity. So carry on. I think I'm all in the belief of buying the best of the best and eating the best of the best. But lots of times I don't have the money for it, and so I end up eating the best of the best one day, and then the next day I'm eating the worst of the worst. And then I guess it's a lot of not having the willpower to do it. But there's a lot to it too, and I don't watch any TV, and I don't see any commercials. I just get the stuff from the store and see something in there and only buy certain junk foods over and over again. I'm only buying certain ones anyway. So, but I should cut those out. And I need to lose weight like hell. I had the hernia operation and they messed up my stomach. It's bugged out like hell. It looks like bad on one side, lopsided, and it's bad, and I used to need to lose weight. So the doctor tells me it's water. You're retaining water. He didn't take any measurements. He just gives you an educated guess. And so I bought a digital scale. I weighed myself. The scale reading has a book with it that tells you what to compare the scale reading and tells you where you should be, at what age, and at what weight, and it also told me that I needed to drink more water. And it also told me all that fucking stuff that was sticking out of my stomach was fat, 55%. So fucking doctor, you're so right, you're so good, educated guess to fucking screw more people up. Educated fucking fools. And who's taught them? More educated fools. Food teaching foo and to pass it on to practice in their doctorate tree. So nice going, doctors. We congratulate you for your fucking foo ass knowledge. So, well, it's a fight. It's a battle. Wow, I love the battles. I love the battles. It's nothing but a battle. I'll say, well, how goes the battle? Yeah, no. we're all fighting in this. We've all got to stand up for our rights. We've all got to fight to do the best we can, to make it the best we can, and do what will work for our goals and our outstanding self. But we got to take a look at the other guy too and have an open mind, or else we'll all be fighting and screwing about each other and stepping on each other's things and saying, well, you can't do that. Well, what if they tell you can't do that? You wouldn't like that either. So they tell you can't do something you're doing, and you wouldn't like that. And they tell you can't do something you're doing, you wouldn't like that. So the other way around, you tell them they can't do something they wouldn't like that. So praise God, praise the living soul, the higher power that knows better than that and sees all this information and sees how fucking ridiculous it is. He sees so fucking ridiculous that he just keeps his hands off and says, I don't want nothing to do with this. And so he keeps his mouth shut. And you can't go around correcting people. And so a lot of them don't even want your corrections. They got their own beliefs and their own systems and their own way of thinking. So that's where I stand. I'll give more and be more political wise in the future, but I do believe that you're not going to make it unless you protect your health. You're not going to make it unless you keep your eyes on everything that's going on, and you keep your eyes on all the sides of the information. Once you take your eye away from one situation and only listen to one side, you can be manipulated and rude and fucking put down and destroyed by that one person. And do they have your goals in mind, and do they know everything? Or did they just shut it out of their mind before that they weren't going to listen to it anyway? So you got two people not listening to both sides, and you got ignorance. This is Wizard Quai. I've said enough. Maybe I've said too much. You never know. They don't like what you're saying. If they don't like what you're saying, they'll zap you off the board. You won't even be shown in front of any people, and they won't see what you have to say. And they'll just take that all away from you. Oh yeah, I'm some white dude, so watch out. I'm some white dude, so watch out. I'm some white dude, so watch out. You can't listen to me. Wow. I don't listen to anybody. I listen to all sides. I've listened to videos with black people in them. I've listened to Asian people. I've listened to all of them. I eat a lot of Asian foods that I like, and Mexican foods and stuff like that. But I'm eating a lot of foods that I shouldn't be eating, because they should be made of organic with the best minerals and the best nutrients and the best things, and they should be even more raw so that you can assimilate them better. This is Wizard Quai signing off. Have a super great day, and keep your uniqueness, no matter how much they want to block and take it away from you. Wishing you the best. Bye.